Picture this. It's the late 90s. Pyro explodes, the crowd's losing its mind, and instead of polished pop music, you hear chuggy guitars, pounding drums, and pure chaos. Heavy metal wasn't just background music in the WWE's Attitude Era, it was the attitude. But if it worked so well, why did they move away from it? The Attitude Era, roughly at its peak between 1997 and 2002, was built on rebellion. WWE was no longer the bright, cartoonish version of itself that it was in the early 90s, when it was a WWF. The company pivoted to more gritty styles, harsher storylines, less PG storylines, and it all became louder, darker, and more aggressive. And heavy metal fit the bill for that perfectly for three main reasons. Firstly, it was the energy. Fast tempos, distorted guitars, and energetic vocals amplify excitement. When a wrestler's theme music hits, the audience already knows what to expect. Second, it was the attitude. The late 90s youth culture was heavily influenced by heavy metal, hard rock, and punk. And by using similar sounds, the WWE and the wider wrestling world, to be fair, felt that they could portray that same energy through their product. And third is that heavy metal themes helped define the character instantly. You didn't need a long promo or a storyline to understand the character. The music told you what the character was and what they were about as soon as it hit. If the music's loud and chaotic, they're a dangerous character. If it's dark and brooding, they're mysterious. Or if it's fast and aggressive, then they're an unpredictable type of character. It was branding through sound, and it worked excellently. And timing was everything, as the Attitude Era really peaked at a time where you had bands like Limp Bizkit and Korn at the top of the charts. You know, you had all the bands like Breaking Benjamin, for example. To a lesser extent, especially in the wrestling world, you had like Powerman 5000, who were all over the games, all over the soundtracks. They even did the Dudley's theme song, for example. Video games, movies, and extreme sports were also leaning into this trend as well. So, WWE weren't just following a trend, they were really a part of the core of its movement. So if metal worked so well at this time, what changed? Well, it wasn't just one reason in particular. It was a mix of the companies they were working with as sponsors and branding, for example. They wanted a much more family-friendly product so that they could put money behind it, they could advertise it, not face any backlash. It was also just culture as a whole was really changing the way that they were evolving. Nu metal was sort of phasing out a little bit. Mainstream music trends also changed with time. Nu metal and punk wasn't as popular as it once was, and there was hip hop, pop, those kind of artists coming in, and WWE moved with it. They stayed current, and it just wasn't the in thing at that time. And WWE have always, to this day, still followed cultural trends in pop culture, and this has allowed them to stay relevant. Imagine licensing was also at play. If you listen to a lot of especially the more metal tracks that they play now, they're all produced in-house with the same samples, the same producers, the same kind of riffs. There's hardly any vocals. They sound very sterilized and oversaturated. It's not what it was. Whereas back in the day, you had actual real bands playing the music. And it was just after the Attitude Era had really passed. But you had CM Punk, for example, coming out to Killswitch Engage. And as WWE started to move into different markets in different parts of the world, heavy metal doesn't necessarily translate into all of them. So they needed to choose a kind of music that did fit different cultures. As from a business standpoint, safer music meant less barriers. And even as WWE moved away from heavy metal as their dominant sound, it still helped create the Attitude Era and make it what it was. It helped create one of the hottest periods in wrestling history. It created instantly recognizable theme songs for wrestlers and an atmosphere that felt dangerous at times. as whenever fans look back fondly on the Attitude Era, there's always a wall of guitars somewhere hidden in the background.